Hi there! It's Jenny from Quick Anime Recap. And today we're recapping the part 3 of the anime, Vermal in Gold. So sit tight and enjoy the video. The anime continues with the professor explaining the rules for this practical exam is to channel mana into the crystal and make the flame bigger. Although this sounds easy, several students try their hardest but cannot affect the flame at all and fail the test. When it's Lilia's turn, she realizes it is because they are focusing their mana on the crystal and not the flame. She is able to easily make the flame big. At the same time, Cheryl and a transfer student from another school also able to make the flame big, while Marks barely manages to affect it and pass the test. Alto is last, and using his knowledge on mana construct, he realizes the crystal have 4 mana spots, and the best spot to pour mana into it is located behind the crystal. However, Vermal encourages him to show off, so he pours his mana from the most difficult spot, shocking the professor. Alto's incredible mana is able to turn the flame color into silver, and even makes the flame so big, it shatters the crystal. He immediately apologizes to the professor, thinking he had failed the test, but the professor says he passes the test with flying color, and tells him to focus on the next test because he could still fail. Later, Alto and his friends have a picnic before the written exam. There, Marks reveals his secret to pass the exam, a 6-sided pencil, making the group speechless. Cheryl then tells the group about a student who passed every test with full marks and went on to become a platinum square mage, worrying Alto. But the group brush it off and have a last motivational roar before heading to the test. However, Vermal couldn't help herself and pulls Alto into a hallway to replenish his mana, even though he doesn't need it. Meanwhile, the transfer student from before goes to the bathroom and complains about Alto showing off, but Iolite sneaks in and murders him before stealing his test ticket. Elsewhere, Elena and Jessica are practicing fencing, and after Elena wins, they take a shower and discuss about Alto and Vermal. Jessica still cannot believe he summoned a demon and give his heart to her, while Elena says they are obviously in love. When the test begins, Alto had to rush to the test room, all thanks to Vermal. Once he is seated, Iolite enters and sits right next to Alto, wishes him good luck. Few moments had passed, Vermal sits outside feeling bored, but she gets flustered when she remembers how Alto promised to protect her. Back to Alto, he freaks out when Iolite falls asleep as soon as the test starts, but had to concentrate on taking his own test. After a while, Iolite wakes up and writes super fast to finish the test in mere seconds, then mocks Alto for being slow. As the professor reprimands him for talking while taking a test, a guard barges in the room and reports finding the body of the murdered student, which the professor quickly realizes Iolite is not a student. Now getting caught, Iolite says he only took the test for fun, then summons a stone golem wrecking the entire room. As the students except Alto evacuate, Vermal and the professor from the first exam show up to help. There, the professor quickly recognizes Iolite, the youngest mage to be promoted to Platinum Square, which Alto recalls he is the person that Cheryl mentioned. Meanwhile, some guards drag a reluctant Lilia, Marks, and Cheryl out of the building, but when they try to re-enter, a space warp created by Heliodol sends them back outside. Back to the battle, the golem is shown to be able to withstand all their attacks and even overpower them, trapping Vermal. Enraged, Alto awakens his power and manages to shatter the golem, freeing Vermal from it. However, when Alto is about to deal the final blow, Iolite summons a knight and impales his shoulder. Defeated, Alto asks what he wants with Vermal, and he says his group aims to destroy the world and he needs all the demons to do it. Seeing Iolite is hurting Alto, Vermal goes into her monster form, but Iolite easily knocks her out by sealing her mind. Still determined to stop Iolite, he is annoyed by his attempt and tries to kill Alto. Unexpectedly, the book he used to summon Vermal shields him from the attack, then the woman from his dream appears. She introduces herself as the mage of the beginning, the one who sealed Vermal in the book. Deducing Vermal is trapped inside her memories, she asks if Alto is willing to risk himself to save Vermal, which he accepts, claiming he will always be by her side. Not wanting this to continue, Iolite tries to attack, but she freezes time and sends Alto into Vermal's memories, where he finds himself 550 years in the past, and sees a child version of Vermal happily playing. The mage explains that Vermal was raised by a nun alongside the orphans Miel, Lynn, and Kate. Even though they are not the same blood, they consider each other as family. Despite demons are much more feared by humans at that time, the nuns still show love and care to Vermal, treating her as a normal child. But one day, while Vermal went out to play, the ribbons covering her horns falls off and is bullied by the neighboring kids. When Miel stepped in to stop them, she also noticed her horns. But she doesn't care, telling her she will protect her and takes her back home. However, when the townspeople learned Vermal was a demon, they started to blame her for a plague hitting the country, so they formed an angry mob and laid siege to the church. Seeing that the situation is getting worse, Miel urged Vermal to leave and escape before it's too late. And she almost made it out of town before she overheard the people saying they would kill her family, so she ran back to save them, but found out she was too late. Her family had been hanged. As the mob surrounded her, she was overwhelmed by her emotions and went into her monster form for the first time. And in her rampage, she killed everyone and burned the whole town to the ground. As Alto is appalled by what he had witnessed, the mage says this was her crime and the reason why she was sealed away, asking if he still wants to treasure her now. Without question, when Alto finds he can interact with Vermal, he went and comforts her. She then transforms into the adult Vermal, and cries that her crime can never be undone and no one will ever love her. But Alto denies it, saying he and her family will still love her and kisses her, breaking the memory seal. As they wake up in the real world, he declares he loves her and will always stay by her side, even though the whole world turn against her. Surprised that they was able to break through his seal, Iolite empower his knight with armor and says Vermal's only purpose is to destroy the world, that's why Alto should let him have Vermal. But they tell him to shut up and combine their newly formed powers to destroy the knight. Just as Iolite is about to unleash his full power, Heliodor appears and says she cannot maintain the space warp much longer, so she and Iolite escape through a portal. Now with them finally gone, Vermal identifies the mage of the beginning as Fatima. She says Vermal is her dear friend and urges Alto to care for her, because one day the world will inevitably turn against her. After she disappears in a sparking glow, everything returns to normal, just like nothing has happened. Soon, Lilia and the group is ecstatic to find Alto is safe. Later, in an effort to become stronger so he can protect Vermal, Alto is trained in fencing and martial arts by Jessica and Chris. He is easily defeated in spars due to lacking strength and experience, but aims to improve. In bed, Vermal and Alto are replenishing their mana, and they have a lovely moment together. In a student council meeting, Elena informs the student council that they must all work together to stop these attacks from happening in the future, and they all seems to agree. Meanwhile, Lilia, Marx, and Cheryl receive their test results and they all passed, but when Alto doesn't show up, Lilia jealously suspects he is doing something with Vermal. And indeed, the two are kissing in public, basking in their love and determined to protect each other. Thanks for watching the video. Still want to watch more anime recap? Click the video on the screen to watch more. And don't forget to subscribe to catch the latest upload.